Hey, y'all. Welcome to Slop. I'm your friendly neighborhood organizer, Austin, and I'm here tonight with Jason
Hello, comrades.
and Morgan.
Hello.
And we're going to talk a bit about what's going on nationally, internationally, some trends, and little culture fun stuff as well. And this is the second most unprofessional podcast in the land. I don't have another tagline for us yet, but the third socialist podcast in the land. Still, I'm an unoriginal bastard. How about that? Um, so yeah, uh, we already got some folks in the chat. What's up, Corey? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. If y'all out there hit the like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. And yeah, let's get to screen sharing. That's our power function. It shows what that's the top professional skill I have right now is being able to share my screen. Let's see here
Did
if
you
I
say
can find
the
the
top
buttons.
professional, top professional, or cop professional?
top.
I heard cop professional screen. That was a skill, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. Do cops are they're definitely not screen sharing, they're screen stealing, so kind of related, but you know, but no, not my top cop skill. That might be well, I wouldn't say it's marksmanship, but but maybe. But yeah, a few things going on, the trends out there. We've got Estados Unidos, Guatemala. We got some soccer going on. Football. We got Diddy got charged or got convicted of 2 counts. Didn't get convicted of everything,
Got
and
acquitted
his
for the major crimes. So
yeah.
even though it seemed like a pretty slam dunk case to me, just from what little reading I did, but we don't hold the rich and powerful accountable in this country.
No, why would we do that? Accountabilities for suckers. And the judge denied his bail.
I saw that they continued his bond. They didn't continue his bond, so he's being held.
What? So that means sentencing is next for him. Juniper, have no clue what that means. Mephisto.
Why is Mephisto trending? Do they mean the Marvel character, or do they mean the?
Let's see. Oh, yeah. There you go. You nailed it. Ironheart. Just introduced Doctor Doom's worst nightmare. Mephisto sounds like an app and a device combination.
Yeah. Mephisto. He's a Marvel character.
We got some other stuff. Old Guard 2 dropped today. First one, but I was asked to watch them both back to back now by the family. So looks like I get to enjoy that cinematic experience. Found this one interesting. Del Monte Foods filed for Chapter 11. Yeah, got more tech layoffs going on. Also, I think part of Microsoft QA for one of their like subdivisions, game subdivisions, unionized. So congrats to them out there. We got some sports stuff. Yolo County. Oh man. Laura Toomer. And yeah.
She's been She's been popping off lately, so she's trending.
I think what she
Her,
was saying was that was it the Latinos that she was going after?
Yeah.
she's
And they went
hunting. What's she doing?
she's going full Nazi.
Yeah.
No.
So she basically said that there's 65 million people to feed to alligators, or something along those lines. And of course, there are 65. There aren't 65 million undocumented immigrants in America, but there are 65 million Latinos. So that just goes to show you it's all about race and not about protecting America and crime and all this other stuff. It's about white supremacy.
Oh yeah. Thank you for she can't drop her veil no more. You know what I'm saying? I wish somebody would drop a veil on her face though.
That would be nice.
She's got that Mar-a-Lago MAGA face. It's like they're all morphing into the same face. It's almost like AI does their plastic surgery. Yeah. So yeah. And what else we got over here on trends? Red Panda. That's a performer broke the wrist. And got some more. Oh man, God, dog. I gotta rotate these streaming services because I ain't gonna lie. I like watching shit. You know what I'm saying? What else we got over here? Oh, Vietnam, a trade deal went through. We got, but let's see here. And this is from Twitter. See, I clicked on this. See how it's Diddy everywhere. I clicked.
We can't see your screen.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, clicked on that one. Tweets trending for hours. Whoop
I
did you
refuse to
do?
know why Carrot Top is trending. I don't even want to know.
Oh man, did he make it? Wait, did he already turn right wing? All them comedians like turning right wing. Did he make his turn finally?
Maybe he did. Maybe he's like gone super anti woke with the props.
Oh no, I hope not, because I found him to. Well, first off, I liked him growing up, and then prop comic or not, whatever. That shit can be funny. And he seemed like real. He seemed like a sweet, honest. Like I remember seeing him talk about how folks fucked with him and messed with him and shit like that. And he gained my sympathy.
Lots of trending layoff news.
Ain't that nice? Ain't that nice?
I think they were laying off 4% of Microsoft, which is about 9 or so thousand people.
And I swear they just did a layoff last year. So if things go as they have in the past, this will start another round of layoffs by other tech organizations throughout the country. Because they seem to copy each other when they start doing layoffs.
Well, they always occur right before a earnings statement is released.
Yes.
So that they can artificially boost the stock price.
Yeah. Oh. It's just people's lives. I mean, what's the big deal? You know what I mean? So we got some trends on YouTube. We got some music releases. The new Running Man trailer. Dare we try to watch this? No.
You know what's going to happen.
No.
All right. We'll skip that. Cat in the Hat trailer out there. I haven't heard of this show, The Abyss Awakens, but seems. Oh, I don't know. Is it a Marvel's thing? I don't know. I can't tell. But if you haven't watched The Abyss, yeah, check it out. Da 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 da. New mob and gear in the next game drop for Minecraft. Some more music. Gonna won't stop. WNBA championships are going on. Looks like the Lakers might be moving on from LeBron James. Out in the NBA, the Bucks cut Damian Lillard, signed Miles Turner from the Pacers, and Giannis is pissed. So it looked like Giannis, all world, might be leaving the Bucks as well. So
You have no idea who any of those people are.
that's okay. Oh yeah. So so yeah, that's some stuff that's trending out there. And as I scroll up, are you gonna give me? Oh no, you don't give me the cloud. It's Twitter that gives me a cloud. We're still learning how to run this operation here, folks. Well, but I did learn something that if you just highlight on Google Trends here, it brings up related articles, and that brings us a perfect segue into the big bullshit bill.
We got a few comments. Let's see.
Oh, yeah. I'm down for nationalizing some SpaceX. Why not? I mean, minus the explosions.
I mean, the DoD and NASA basically run SpaceX at this point.
And we give them so much money in subsidies. Like it's crazy to me. Like all the risk is socialized, but all the profits are privatized. So
yeah, it's the same way with healthcare and big pharma.
Mm-hmm. Same grift over and over again.
I mean, I thought
these companies to an absurd amount. Like we give a few farthings to the poor, and people are up in arms about that. But we give billions of dollars away to corporations every year, and that hardly elicits any kind of complaint. That drives me insane.
I mean, if you want to go fully insane, you should look at the Medicaid Advantage. And also last time, Google, Google's facing a antitrust lawsuit at the moment from DOJ. And I don't really play Minecraft. I was last playing Space Marines 2.
Please call the dogs. Yeah.
I don't really mind seeing. I saw next comment.
Sorry about that. I had to. The dogs were barking, literally, not my feet. Yeah. Let's see here.
No, I'm not a big Minecraft player. I don't really play a lot of video games. I don't do much besides read. I'm kind of a nerd, I guess. I don't watch TV, I don't watch movies. Not because I'm too good for it or anything like that, just because I have a hard time getting into it for whatever reason. Like video games kind of bore me a little bit. I like movies okay, but TV shows they're too convoluted. Like it's too much to take in for me.
I dabble with a bit of everything.
The human multi-tool, Morgan. Everybody, yes.
I watch.
Dabbler.
So I do. I play video games. I read fantasy books and science fiction. I got anime as well, and a bunch of other stuff. Oh, and also comics.
I'm mostly read military manuals and plan the revolution in Minecraft.
Yeah. So I mostly read books, nonfiction books about politics and political theory and how to get it popping off in Minecraft.
So yeah. So yeah. And thanks for the question, y'all.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So I went and visited Mr. Our congressman, local congressman Dale Strong's office today, and got to see I got to speak to one of their staffers about the bill out there that's going on right now. And God, that the name, right? Like they literally, like it wasn't some they he called it the big beautiful bill, and they literally that's what they the big beautiful bill act, right? Like,
Oh, but Chuck Schumer made them strip the name out, so it's not actually called the
oh, he
Big Beautiful
did.
Bill. Yeah.
What's it
Okay,
called
well,
now?
way to stand on something, Chuck.
I know, right?
Chucky's going to
Yeah.
Chucky's going to defend democracy with his 20%
Yeah.
approval rating.
Let's rebrand it. Yeah. Oh wait, no, wait. What? No. I ain't got a Cuck Schumer on me yet. Nah. He's kind of nasally, but yeah, the bill made it back out of the Senate and it's back into the House. It's at like hour 5 of voting, something like that, right? And we can read a little bit. Divisions within President Trump's own party on Wednesday were slow in progress towards a vote on the sweeping bill to fulfill his domestic agenda. And Speaker Mike Johnson are working to unite House Republicans behind the bill, which would slash taxes and the federal safety net. The measure can survive just a few Republican defections. Defections. Yeah, the asylum ruling got stripped out apparently. Or no. I'm sorry. Where this is unrelated to the big beautiful bill. President Trump does not have the power to categorically stop asylum seekers at the southern border. So finally figured out what his whole thing was with asylum seekers. The man still thinks that asylum seekers are coming from mental institutions. That was like that whole Hannibal Lecter thing he was ranting on about for months during the campaign. But yeah, he still thinks that asylum seekers are folks from mental institutions trying to come into the United States. So that's pretty funny.
It's just a step to dehumanize them.
Yeah. No, well, I think he's just that fucking stupid,
I mean, he's never been smart.
No, I've got the best words. So yeah, it is difficult to guess how many holdouts remain, especially with the number of lawmakers voicing objections to the Senate's version of the bill, but remaining non-committal about whether their misgivings were grave enough for them to vote against it. And many of the Republicans currently making noise have done so before, only to ultimately back down. So something to note here is when the Senate was voting on this, Murkowski up in Alaska, they actually got an exemption to SNAP benefits pulled out. So Alaska is going to have no changes to SNAP benefits.
I thought that was removed under the parliamentarian.
No. There was some, and we'll get to this. I'm going to bring up the bill itself, or in Wikipedia. I'm going to bring up the bill. But she negotiated for her vote to have Alaska have an exemption to the SNAP benefit reductions, and Hawaii also has that exemption as well. before she voted for it and it got passed back to the House. So that's something I asked the staffer today. Why didn't the senators or him or all the Alabama Congress folks together negotiate for their votes an exemption for Alabama? So,
I mean, there was an interview directly after with Murkowski where she gave the most Weasley worded answer ever, and was like, "Well, I didn't. I wanted to screw over the country. I just didn't want to screw over my constituents."
right. Well, at least she stood for some folks, you know. Imagine if every one of them had decided, all the Republicans had decided, oh, maybe we shouldn't do this. We'll just take the tax cuts. We won't, also screw over working class people as well. We'll just take our extra big tax cuts and drive the deficit up billions of dollars. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike Gravel would not have stood for this. He would have thrown a rock right into a lake, among other things.
So, a procedural vote. Here's where things stand in the House. More than 10 hours into a day of haggling over the president's big policy bill with no clear end in sight. And I was watching some of this on PBS earlier. It was so riveting that I forgot I was watching it. And like they do these like, oh, you got 15 minutes to vote, and then like literally like an hour and a half later, after they woke up all the Republicans, they called the vote. It's like, why even say 15 minutes for these votes? Anyway, procedural vote that was meant to clear the way for another procedural vote that would let Republicans bring the bill to the floor. Yes, really. Has now been open for more than 5 hours while Republican leaders try to sway holdouts to vote for the Senate version of the bill. Usually votes are not held open this long, at a point that Representative Joe Neguse, Democrat of Colorado, made on the floor some 4 hours ago when he asked if it was procedurally allowed to have a vote this long. It is. You don't see what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Yeah, what's basically happening is that they're trying to charm the representatives to vote for the damn thing. And if they don't vote for it, they're basically saying that, okay, if you don't vote for this, we're going to primary you in your district.
Well, it looks like, we talked some about this. It looks like Elon Musk is about to start the America Party. So, sieg hail to that. Yeah.
I'm okay with him starting that. I mean,
well-funded third right-wing party.
It's not a right-wing party. It's a Nazi party.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, just split the votes and make it easier for non-Nazis to win. Possibly.
I'm okay with independents running for those districts.
Yeah, I do like that. Go ahead, Elon. I fully support you.
Well, I don't know. So the Clinton campaign thought they were being super clever when Hillary Clinton ran in 2016, and they actually promoted Donald Trump.
Right.
And they did it because they thought they would have a better chance of beating him in the general. And look how that turned out for all of us.
Oh, so, no. I'm not saying we help him in terms of making a third party. We just don't do anything to stop it. There should be no interaction between the Democratic Party or any opposition party and Musk.
Well, yeah, I do think that if he created that party, it would make it harder for Republicans, me personally. But also, he's ruined his brand with the Nazi salutes. And hey, Tesla, another big drop in, another like 17% drop in.
It was 17%. And I think for this year, they're off by about 70%.
Yeah, yeah. That got acknowledged today as well. But speaking of the big beautiful bill, let's see here.
Yeah, it's important to talk beyond the horse race side of it and talk about what's actually at stake here.
Yes. So the Senate passed bill is projected to cut approximately 4.46 trillion in tax revenue over a 10-year period. Uh, we can get in the weeds in some of these, but they're given like a point between a 0.7 to like one, not even 1% pay cut to the working class. I mean, pay cut, tax cut to the working class, where if you make over $1 million a year, it's about a 15% tax cut. And yeah, that's
Yeah, you
something.
can. It's like I think it's over $1 million that you actually start getting a cut, uh, and like even the most unaffordable of areas, it's like around. I think the cost of living like 150 to 200,000 in some areas, but like yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's something like 5 to 7% if you make over 100,000. From half a million to a million, it's like 10%, and then over a million is 15% roundabout cut. Um, some of the promises, right? This is a cute one. It creates a new tax deduction for tips and overtime pay for workers making less than $150,000 a year. The Senate bill caps this deduction to 25,000, while the House bill is uncapped, and the provision would expire in 2028. So, yeah, not like the tax cuts for the rich, which are, as they say, permanent, right?
As permanent as they can be.
Right, right. There's some other ones in here. The tax deduction of up to $6,000, up from 4,000, for seniors with incomes up to 75,000 or married 150,000, which also expire in 2028. Result in 88% of seniors being able to claim enough deductions to clear their Social Security tax burden, up from 64%. Uh, so this one seems incomplete right here. Uh, Includes a child tax credit, increase it, and it'd expire in 2028. But I think there is this favors rich folks again. So I think there needs some. I think this is missing some information right here. What are some other good ones? Tax credit for coal. Here, this is what I was talking about. In order to gain the support for Alaskan senators, the bill includes an increased tax deduction for whaling boat captains and a waiver process for an exemption for planned snap cuts for Alaska along with Hawaii.
So, and it's worth noting that it got SNAP for other Americans.
Yep.
I did find this, like, not that the working class can use it because they ain't got no goddamn money, but includes the creation of Trump accounts, which allow for parents to contribute $1,000 on the birth of a child and $5,000 per year, with the money growing tax deferred, which is not, you don't want tax deferred.
No, you don't.
Similar to a 529 plan, but with uses for higher education, job training, and a down payment on a home. How about some other shit to that? Why put all this stipulation on it? But also, it shouldn't have been tax deferred. And yeah,
just use an IRA.
yeah. And like, this is, once again, will help rich folks, because average folks aren't going to be able to put aside $5,000 a year. I sat there and did the math with with that staffer today. I was like, okay, so average income's around 35,000, but if you look at median income, it's around 25,000. And I, was like, hey, what's the rent around here? And he's like, about 1,500. I said, okay, so that's like $18,000 a year. So we got 25,000 minus 18. So now we got 7,000 left. And then how much is power bill? That's 200 a month. Knocks it down. How about gas for your car? How about maintenance for your car? Like, how are these people supposed to eat? You know what I'm saying? So like, the working class average worker is not putting away $5,000 a year for a family member as much as they want.
Nonsense. You can live off of ramen and instant
Yeah.
noodles.
I literally mentioned ramen to him.
Yeah, for that, most of the states have their own savings program already.
All right. Gets rid of clean energy credits, passing the Inflation Reduction Act.
Wait. Go back to that one. That's what Musk is really angry about.
Right. He says he ain't, but we know that bitch is lying.
Oh yeah, here's Golden Dome.
Yes. So another portion of the bill, the defense portion, allocate another 150 billion in defense spending. That includes 29 billion for shipbuilding, 25 billion for proposed Golden Dome missile defense system, 25 billion for munitions, 16 billion for military innovation. That's probably just
They're getting they want to. That's probably for. So let me go down the list for this one since I'm
and artificial intelligence,
I know the defense
including money for kamikaze drones, uncrewed aircraft system, drone boats, and underwater drones.
They want to use that. So the shipbuilding one is actually not bad. The Golden Dome one is crap because that's like a down payment. The AI stuff is probably for Palantir. All the kamikaze drone stuff is probably for a potential conflict with China. And yeah.
And 15 billion for nuclear deterrence. How about I don't know, treaties? How about that for nuclear deterrence?
Oh yeah, you got me sold on that one. Like it doesn't really make sense to modernize your nuclear arsenal because like the entire point of a nuclear arsenal is like
deterrence and mutually assured destruction.
Yeah. Deterrence.
Yeah. We got another 12 billion for military ops in the Indo-Pacific region. That's Taiwan, folks. Yep. And 25 billion in various infrastructure and housing improvements. Bill also includes 170 billion for spending on border security, creating the capacity to deport up to 1 million people each year. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, y'all. 46 billion build a wall. 45 in order to add 100,000 new migrant detention beds, like at Alligator Alcatraz or Alligator Auschwitz. Which do y'all prefer? I prefer Auschwitz.
Auschwitz, please. It's more reminiscent of that, having been there. The budget for ICE is supposed to be like 3 times the budget of the Marine Corps.
Yeah, according to DSA statement condemning the bill makes ICE the world's largest law enforcement agency.
Which is completely insane. No.
Yeah, this is
terrorize people.
Yeah, this is 1934 Germany, 1935 Germany, around about that time frame. Another 29 billion, or let's call it 30, 29.9, let's call it 30, for hiring new agents with the aim of getting 10,000 of them. 17 billion to support state and local law enforcement with borders efforts. 10 billion to reimburse DHS. That's because they just blew their budget this past year.
Yep.
7.8 for hiring Border Patrol agents and vehicles with the aim of hiring 3,000 new agents. 6.2 for border technology. What the fuck does that even mean? And
I know what that means.
cameras.
Cameras and other tracking stuff on the border wall.
Yeah. Border technology.
The most mundane things are usually the most evil.
Yeah. Oh, they're trying to put cameras on the garbage trucks in town. So that I'm sure Palantir is pushing for that. Yeah, they did us a solid though. The bill would establish $100 annual fee to apply for asylum, down from $1,000.
Still monstrous.
Oh, goody! You can apply for asylum, and then ICE can just swoop in and arrest
And
you.
a $550. Yeah, and $500 to apply for temporary protected status. So before we go over some other stuff real quick, where are we at? Where'd you go? This Trump supporter dies in ICE custody. I keep telling white folks so they're coming for your ass too. But this
feel so
guy,
bad in this moment. What a shame.
Johnny Noviel, dear humans, Low, witness how fascism destroys even those who support it. He cheered for immigration crackdowns, shared memes, defending ICE, enforced the laws, and now he's died while in ICE custody. So, yeah.
Well, is it possible to build a working violin out of a single molecule of wood?
We could try, but we got to get the grant and funding for it. Single molecule of literally the world's smallest, right? Literally
the smallest possible violin.
Could we get subquantum violins?
Well, like it needs to be the most small, teeniest of violins.
Yeah. So yeah, this fella, yep, Trump supporter died while in custody with ICE. To continue on, this is the good part. The bill would cut 1.2 trillion in federal spending. At the same time, they keep saying it's around like 3 trillion added to the deficit, but they're trying to raise the deficit limit by 5 trillion. But also I've seen reports that over 10 years, it's really going to cost 30 trillion, so adds work requirements for Medicaid recipients for the first time, with individuals 19 to 64 required to work at least 80 hours per month. Some exemption, some bullshit will be offered for adults with dependent children ages 14 and under, and those with medical conditions. Cuts Medicaid provider tax, which helps states fund their Medicaid costs from 6 to 3.5. Requires states to check eligibility every 6 months instead of annually. Provide expansion states with using state-directed payments to pay Medicaid providers higher rates than Medicare would pay. Requires minimum staffing ratios for nursing homes. This is not a bad thing right there, but all in all, yeah. This is, whenever you hear, all the immigrants are using up all our services, well, an illegal quote unquote immigrant that is working and pays taxes and whatnot, they're not eligible for these services and benefits. You know what I'm saying? But green card holders are, and they're changing it to a 5-year waiting period after somebody gets their green card. So like, how long does it take to get a green card? I'm curious what that stat is. Reduces Medicaid payments to states with errors and improper payments. uh, prohibits Planned Parenthood stuff, requires SNAP beneficiaries to work 80 hours a month, from raising from 18 to 54 to now 18 to 64. Here's another, like, this is where the exemptions come in again. Requires states with an error rate above 6% to contribute up to 15% of benefit costs. Alaska and Hawaii would receive exemptions. Repeals National Education and Obesity Grant Program, Obesity Prevention Grant Program. This is the big one right here that states aren't going to be prepared for, which means, ain't going to happen. Increases the share of states' costs to administer the SNAP program from 50% to 75%. Restricts future updates to the Thrifty Food Plan used to calculate SNAP benefit levels. So that basically stops, from what I understand, stops like, what is it? Inflationary rates, right? Related to inflation. Is it going to lock it in at a certain rate and then that's it?
It's basically they want to make the government program so worthless that people complain and it becomes a cycle where they aren't happy and they elect a Republican.
Yeah. I think I mentioned this before. Is, I was homeless. I applied for SNAP and got $5 a month. So I don't know. They go in and they this little area, they're capping limits on student borrowing, just a whole bunch of stuff.
Is the
This right here, Bureau of Land Management to hold quarterly onshore oil and gas lease sales. Hey folks, let's all get together and just start an oil company, and yeah, you use that oil money to fund the left.
Rescinds the funding for Inflation Reduction Act.
That's cool.
Halves the funding for the CFPB, which is like that's a agency,
one of the good institutions in this country.
Yes, it is. It's gotten back billions of funding for consumers who have been ripped off or defrauded. Oh wait, there's a good thing, which is the $12 billion for air traffic control funding.
Yeah.
Except that's still not enough to actually modernize the system because I think they're still using floppies.
Yes, they are.
Or punch cards.
3.5s. Oh my God! Don't tell me they're still using fucking punch cards, dog.
I think they're just using floppies. They're using Windows XP.
Okay. Yeah. This one right here is interesting. Established a $50 billion rural hospital fund, up from $25 billion. But I mean, you pair that with the other issues, like, you know what I mean? It doesn't balance out.
So there's one item we need to talk about, which is the NASA funding, which is that OMB has told NASA to shut down half of the programs that they are running for exploration. So they're doing that because they don't want to do space exploration, and it's before Congress can act on it. So it's some more of the impoundment and rescission stuff.
Yeah, here's some NASA related stuff. $10 billion for missions to Mars. I'm assuming that's all going to SpaceX or Blue Origin or who have you. $325 million to deorbit the ISS, the International Space Station.
That's actually a good thing.
This right here, move old from the National Air and Space Museum to Texas. Like, what? Yo, dog, I think I can do it for cheaper. You know what I'm saying? $85 million to move a space shuttle? That don't even make no goddamn sense.
So the deorbiting of the International Space Station is fine because it's overdue. And that's just the Texas representatives who are pissed because they didn't get a space shuttle because mission control, and I think that was from Obama.
Still, how can it cost $85 million to move a shuttle?
I'm not sure.
I bet I could do it for $1 million. Just put it on a big truck and drive it out there, right?
Well, let's do it for 80. Let's do it. Yeah. Or God forbid, we have to hire 2 trucks. But yeah, 85 million. That's just like makes no fucking sense.
They must be like disassembling it and then reassembling it.
Yeah. There's some other interesting ones, or increases spending on crop insurance programs, but is that for corporate farms or
Probably
for
both.
small farmers? Yeah, I don't know. I got $1 on corporate farms. Raises reference prices, resulted in 54 billion in additional spending over 10 years for price loss coverage and agricultural risk.
Hold on. What was the? There's a question which is safety net against Medicaid cuts.
Oh, let's see here. Providing a safety net. So they're providing a safety net to compensate for them destroying the safety net, right? But $1 trillion in cuts, that is not equitable, right? Like, this is 100 billion times 10 worth of cuts. So
the goal is to shred the fabric of society.
Yes, absolutely. That's what I asked that staffer. I kept asking him. I said, what is the end goal here? Think about it. And like, I want you to think about what is the end state all this stuff gets us to as the richest country in the history of the world. What is this doing for working people? And he just kind of stared at me on that stuff. Here's a selling
17 million poor people are going to lose their access to Medicaid, and 40 million people who get help putting food on the table are going to go hungry instead.
Wasn't there some provision where they were trying to do a hospital bailout?
I don't recall.
That might have been the rural thing. They're selling some of the electromagnetic spectrum, potentially raising 85 billion. Oh, which,
that's a drop in the
wind. Yeah, pissing in the wind. So yeah, that's the gist of it. And that's what's going down now. I'm sure there's a live feed out there. Don't change to the live feed, y'all. Listen to us. Don't go to the live feed. But yeah. So that's what's going on with it. And yeah. Some others articles out there. I don't
Okay, I did find it. There's supposed to be 50 billion for rural hospitals.
Right. We read that provision. Yeah.
Which is that's not enough, because that's just because most of the rural hospitals get their money from Medicaid funding.
Right. I mean, you build a hospital and nobody can get coverage. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we built a hospital and that bitch is empty as fuck.
Well, the way this is going to work is that it'll be like, well, you got the bailout money. It's like, all the people in retirement homes are dead. There's no one to actually pay for anything.
Right. Well, of course. We'll read just a touch of this. The big, beautiful bill assigns American a billionaire who will live the American dream for you. You can check in on your billionaire at intervals and see how he is using your money. Maybe he's building a 19th pool. Maybe he's buying himself some formerly public land. Maybe he's taking a Supreme Court justice on a dream vacation. Maybe he's reupholstering the Statue of Liberty to hide the poem. Maybe he's throwing a Great Gatsby themed cocktail hour as part of his wedding extravaganza. Maybe he's replacing his blood with transfusion from his blood boys. Maybe he has bought hundreds of eggs and is pelting the house of a mere 100 millionaire with them. Maybe he has bought some Trump coin and is attending a special bash. There's never a dull moment for the lucky beneficiaries of this wonderful bill. That's from the Atlantic. I wish I had more of it because that's some top-notch sarcasm by Alexandra Petrie. So yeah. And that's the big beautiful bill. Big bullshit ass motherfuckers. And I wish I had a good segue for this. But what do we got here? From Trump's big beautiful bill to the Trump administration raises possibility of stripping Mamdani of U.S. citizenship. How lovely. Move comes as right-wing Republicans accuses New York City mayor of concealing support for terrorism.
That's Ogles out of Tennessee.
Yeah. What they're trying to do is they're trying to basically tell them, like, well, you support Palestine. That means you support Hamas. Low key, the Democratic establishment is doing the same shit.
They are.
Oh yeah, no, they'd be delighted to see him deported because they don't want him to be mayor. They would make a big show out of saying, "Mr. President, you can't do this," and then they would secretly behind everybody's back say, "Oh, this is good for," and they would breathe their sigh of relief.
It would be like, wait, the Democratic Party does not actually have a challenger on the far left that actually wants to change the status quo. Oh, thank God. We can go with the sexual predator. The sex pest.
Mm-hmm. Donald Trump asked on Tuesday about Mamdani's pledge to stop masked immigration and customs enforcement agents from deporting our neighbors. The U.S. president responded, "Well, then, I have to arrest him." I didn't nail it that time. Mamdani posted on X. Oh my God. Mamdani posted on Twitter. Let me not fuck it up. The president of the United States just threatened to have me arrested, stripped of my citizenship, put in a detention camp, and deported. Not because I broke any law, but because I will refuse to let ICE terrorize our city. His statements don't just represent an attack on our democracy, but an attempt to send a message to every New Yorker who refuses to hide in the shadows. If you speak up, they will come for you. We will not accept this intimidation.
Yeah. The problem here is that the more Trump focuses on Mamdani, the more likely Mamdani is to win the mayoral race in November.
Because he'll be seen as an oppositional figure. Like, there aren't any other Democrats he's calling out except for like AOC, and it's going to be the Streisand effect where
he's pulling a Hillary.
Yeah, where he builds them up, and people think, well, these are the resistance figures, right? These are the ones who Trump is worried about.
Well, yeah, Ogles wrote to Pam Mondi calling for an investigation. He may have procured U.S. citizenship through willful misrepresentations or concealment of material support for terrorism. Cited a rap song that included the line, "My love to the Holy Land 5," in which he called members of a foundation convicted of supporting Hamas my guys. Hamas. He also referred to Mamdani's refusal to condemn the phrase globalize and intifada.
Yeah, the news seems to continue to misconstrue what was actually said in that interview with, I think it was the Bulwark. And what he was actually saying is that the globalize the intifada means a lot of different things. different societies.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, on the Jewish death camps website from World War II, the Arabic translation used Intifada to describe the Warsaw uprisings. So they went and changed that recently.
That was for the Holocaust Museum in DC, I want to say.
I think so.
It's the Arabic word for uprising. Like
Right.
you're trying to claim that speaking Arabic is somehow inherently linked to terrorism.
It's just old school. It's not even old school. It's mid 2000s racism.
Yeah. But
And
go ahead.
like they're trying to just link him to a terrorist so that they can have a figure to denaturalize.
Yeah. Nobody, he's wanting the buses to run on time. He's wanting people to be able to afford living. Like it, you know what I mean? How radical.
I'm going to be real. None of the stuff that he's proposing is in the least bit controversial.
It's been implemented in other areas.
It's been implemented in other cities. It's been implemented in like other cities around the world.
Yeah. This is not some classless, stateless, moneyless society.
Right. And what gets me especially is people complaining about the...
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you froze a little bit there, so I started talking over you. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
What drives me wild is people complaining about the city-run grocery stores as they shop at their ABC stores here in Alabama, which are state-run liquor stores.
Exactly.
What annoys me is that Mamdani, after the ranked choice voting was finished, won by 12%. And the Democratic establishment is like, but he's an anti-Semite. It's like, that is not in the least bit true. Get past your APAC money already.
Well, I heard that about half his staff is Jewish. Like,
I mean,
that certainly don't ring anti-Semite to me.
The current comptroller, Brad Lander, who came in third place, cross-endorsed him, and is one of the major reasons why Mamdani won.
Yeah, he's Jewish.
Yes, he's Jewish.
But yeah, Donald Trump has called him a pure communist and has threatened to cut off funds to New York if Mamdani becomes mayor and doesn't behave himself.
Oh no.
This is at a news conference at the official unveiling of a new detention center for immigrants in Florida's Everglades. Trump reiterated his communist remark and insinuated that Mamdani had obtained his citizenship illegally. We don't need a communist in this country, but if we have one, I'm going to be watching over him very carefully on behalf of the nation. We send him money. We send him all the things that he needs to run a government.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
You're sick to do that.
Yeah, I'm poisoning myself.
I'm more annoyed at the Democratic Party at the moment because Mamdani is the future of the Democratic Party.
And he's the future of this country. This is like human rights and life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness and human decency and taxing the rich and like
not believing in billionaires that they should exist. Like I'll just be real. Like the voting demographics for how, like the age distributions for how Mamdani got elected, if that was replicated across the country, Democrats would never lose.
Yeah. What is it? 44 and under crowd like showed out.
Half the vote was that.
Yeah. And but with that is having, working class policies, working class candidates, Said this before, like 70% of young folks, 70% will vote for a socialist president, you know, like, and criticisms of Sanders aside, like, he could have won the presidency against Trump, in my opinion.
I concur. The only caution I would provide is that I don't think it's healthy in a democracy to have cult-like figures.
Well, how about just a little cult? Just a un petit peu,
I mean, it's,
petit peu cult, just a baby cult.
I'm completely on board for a baby cult if it reforms a incredibly culturally broken Democratic Party.
Yeah.
I'm not a Bernie worshiper by any means, although I supported him both times he ran for president, and I don't have any problem saying he would have won. I think he definitely would have won in 2015 or 2016.
Oh, complete for 2015.
Yeah, but I think there's better candidates out there now. We don't know who they are. We don't know their names. We don't know where they're coming from. But there is a sea change occurring, and the fascists are rising against it. This whole thing about deporting him, they're just, in my opinion, trying to telegraph that no matter what we do electorally, they're going to rat fuck us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I would say it's kind of inevitable at this point that the Republicans are going to lose the House in 26.
Statistically, that holds up. In general, the party in power loses power in the midterms. That almost always happens. It's only failed
crazy
a few times since like the 1860s.
I don't know about the Senate, though. The Senate is a little murkier. It depends on how poorly the one big beautiful bill rat fucks the country.
Yeah. Well, but also, like, what I mean, if they have their way, there won't be no elections. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like, I was reading something that and the article I think was things. I was saying that Wikipedia article was missing some things. I believe, like, maybe I misread this, but I swear I was reading through stuff and it mentioned a provision to suspend elections and whatnot. So
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I have to double check. I have to, our professionalism and all that good stuff. Don't quote me on that, but that's something that I was reading through with tweets and skeets and news beats. Hey, that'd be a great name for a show.
The Big Beautiful Bill is polling very badly. Like Harry Enton on CNN went over some polls. I've seen other statements showing like there are a lot of people, a majority of Americans are not impressed by the Big Beautiful Bill. And especially once the pinch starts happening and people have their SNAP benefits taken away and their Medicaid taken away, I think you're going to see millions of people react to that.
I mean, it's also going to drive. Are the premiums supposed to go up as well?
I believe so.
Why wouldn't they? You know what I mean?
No, even more than what they're supposed to go up as is.
Yeah.
And a majority of Americans also think that ICE is going too far in their deportations. So when you see them now as the world's largest law enforcement agency harassing and kidnapping people off the streets in masks and refusing to identify themselves, I think a lot of Americans are not going to like that.
I would just call them for what they are. They're the Gestapo.
They're the Gestapo, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
and there's like, as we just showed, they're scooping up white folks. You know what I mean? Like, wake up, motherfuckers! You're next.
oh yeah,
There's talk about denaturalizing people, including people who were born in the country.
yeah. They
What-
want to. It's what's the vague ass term that they were looking at? Let me one moment.
Well, I mean, right now there's literally babies being born that are no longer citizens, right? And like, it's just fucking insanity. So I do think got some interesting stuff from the Guardian here. U.S. to breed billions of flies and dump them out of aircraft and bid to fight flesh-eating maggot. It sounds like a horror movie. Ukraine launches one of its deepest drone strikes into Russia. We talked about this right here. The House is still at a standstill. A billion people backing you.
The
China
House is-
transfixed as Musk turns against Trump. How did
The House is
Chinese folks go pro Musk? Go ahead.
The House is actually currently voting on a procedural vote to advance the mega bill right now.
Right. They had a procedure to I guess another procedural.
Yeah, this
The
is
vote is still open, but 4 Republicans have voted against the rule so far, which means that the measure will fail if all Democrats vote against it as well, and no one changes their vote. So they already have
Yep.
defectors.
no. They can keep the vote open to try to bully the Republicans in line.
Right.
So we haven't gotten to shenanigans yet.
Fingers crossed, people. And as a reminder, if 3 Democrats hadn't died in office, it would be even tougher for this to be passing.
Whatever do you mean? I thought it was a great idea to give the House Oversight Committee to Jerry Conley, who was a cancer patient, had a history of cancer instead of AOC.
Yeah,
A lot of sarcasm.
for sure. So let's see here. Before we move on to international, one other little thing. Mark Zuckerberg announces his AI superintelligence supergroup. He's going around scooping up people from different AI companies and whatnot, and let's hope he burns another 80 billion for his efforts as AI burns through all the water in the world, boiling up the oceans and all that good stuff. Go fuck yourself, Mark. So yeah. But moving on to international news. Police launch a criminal investigation into Bob Villain and Kneecap Glastonbury sets. Y'all been following this?
Is this the deaf to IDF people?
That's Bob Villain. I think I don't know if Kneecap said it too. They said some Free Palestine stuff for sure. But yeah, that's that. They're at Glastonbury, but now they're putting them under criminal investigation. It comes after the BBC is said to have cut away from a live broadcast during which the band singer Pascal Robinson Foster, who performs under the name Bob Villain, led a chant "Death, Death" to the IDF. These comments drew criticisms of both the English punk rap duo and the BBC for its live coverage. The corporation said it would look at our guidance around live events so we can be sure teams are clear on when it is acceptable to keep output on air. Lisa Nandy, an MP, immediately called the BBC's Director General after the set was broadcast. Uh, she, yeah, she's one of these Zionists out there in Europe.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put this to bed real quick. Like handing DAF to the IDF, there's no problem with it because you have to look at what Israelis do in terms of their incredibly racist depictions of Palestinians are on social media.
Like what? I mean, it's just innumerable, like the cruelty of the IDF, of Israeli citizenry, like the mocking.
Like, to put the nail in the proverbial coffin on this. Oh wait, your pause for a moment. But like the Israeli as a whole, there's some polling where they care more that they're getting bad news coverage than the genocide that they are perpetuating in Gaza.
Right, it's all about optics, right? And they have now eclipsed their optics in their cruelty. It's no longer underhat. It's no longer, to the side, like under wraps, like it's been for years and years and years by comparison to how it is uh, on social media. I mean, you got IDF soldiers sitting there like doing fucking TikTok dances.
I was just about to say.
Yeah, fucking TikTok dances, wearing like dead women's clothes, and the civilians are sitting there like turning on their water faucets and like just wasting water and like mocking people in a famine, in a genocide. It's absolutely fucking disgusting. It's inhuman and inhumane.
It goes further than that because the Israelis themselves refer to what they're doing in Gaza as mowing the grass. And
right,
in terms of something that has to occur on an annual or like monthly basis.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like when the Israelis have their own term for this, which is propaganda, which is Hezbollah. And like there is no defense for it.
No, not a bit. With all their all their bot farms and all their little agents on in the comment section and all their APAC money does not hide the truth. No. And does not change the truth. And as if you didn't want the fucking smoke, you brought it on yourself. This is actually your behavior over decades and decades and decades.
It's actually also causing issues within the Democratic Party because the last administration referred to anybody who was protesting as being like a terrorist.
So here's a quote before we show another thing real quick. Regardless of how it was said, calling for an end to the slaughter of innocents is never wrong. To civilians of Israel, understand this anger is not directed to you, and don't let your government persuade you that a call against an army is a call against the people. Yeah. And it has since then spread. Anti-war protesters in Australia clash with police outside a weapons convention. So down in Australia, go ahead.
I'm actually a bit pedantic on this. Israeli culture is fundamentally broken. So it's not just the leaders of Israel.
Well, there are Israelis that are standing up against this stuff. They're in the minority, but yeah, your point still stands very much so that it is a majority. They've it's almost like they're 1850s United States. You know what I'm saying? With how
it's a shockingly racist society. The
Yeah.
things that they say about Arabic people when they think that you're one of them are horrifying. And like, I remember there's this little town called Bat Yam that's a little bit south of Tel Aviv, and in 11 or 2010 or so, they made it legal for Arabic people to Arabic Israeli citizens to lease apartments in the city, and there were like massive protests against it. Like, because oh my God, there are Arabic people walking the streets of Bat Yam and they're talking to Jewish girls and all that sort of thing.
I mean, if you want another example, the Iranian bombardment of Israel, they have various shelters in place, and the Jews do not allow Arabs into those shelters.
Yes, I saw that. They were banning people who were Arabic citizens of Israel were being barred from the shelters.
Yeah,
Al Jazeera reported that.
I saw a Ukrainian that was in Israel get barred from a shelter. You know, yeah, it's monstrous.
Please carry on, though.
So yeah, some anti-war protesters. They were down in Melbourne. Protesters hurled bottles, rocks, and horse manure. Police statement said. Police claim. Let's do police claim. They also sprayed officers with liquid irritants, some of which were identified as acid. Police claim. Police retaliated with pepper spray, flash distraction devices, and rubber bullets. I'm guessing it wasn't acid. I'm guessing it was piss, if there was anything. 24 officers required medical treatment. Police arrested 39 protesters for offenses such as assault, arson, and blocking roadways. Victoria Police is appalled. Around 1,800 officers have been deployed. Where the Land Forces International Land Defense Exposition, terrible name, is taking place through Friday. So yeah, and they were
throwing horse manure. That's kind of, I don't know. That's pretty based, I think. Depending on how they were doing it, like hopefully they were wearing gloves and didn't just have it in their hands.
You gotta raw dog that shit.
No,
don't be afraid.
Absolutely not.
Horse manure, it's like meaty. You know what I mean? It's not. It's substantial. So like, yeah, you can just pick that up. You can just rub some dirt on it and come right back off.
Negative. Oh, yeah. Negative, Ghost Rider.
It's not something you should. I'm with Jason on this. It's not something you should raw dog or in your hand.
You should wear gloves or something. And surely they did. But yeah, I'm all in favor of crowds getting a little rowdy. I think standing around holding up a sign is of limited utility.
Well, it certainly says in the Constitution that you should do such things. So, hey, all these constitutionalists.
No, it's crazy to me that this country was founded out of like political violence, and yet people think that it's beyond the pale to throw a rock or to break property. Like George Washington did not peacefully protest the British, and he didn't vote them out of America. Like he crossed the Delaware to cut the Hessian soldiers' throats as they slept off their Christmas ration of booze.
Can I interject on something that's completely off topic and a tangent?
Absolutely.
That's hilarious. One of the Republican representatives, it was Ryan Fitzpatrick, voted no on the procedural motion and then bolted from the chamber.
That is hilarious.
I commend him for his because like get that vote in and then lock yourself up in the closet.
Because currently it's going.
So they drag you back out to the floor.
Procedural vote is headed for a tie in the chamber,
which goes to Mike Johnson.
It does.
Wait,
I thought.
But there's no tie. I don't think there's a tiebreaker in the House.
I don't think there is.
Yeah. He could done. He's a member that votes. My bad. Why does
But yeah,
that-
this is hilarious. But please carry on.
Well, now
And I'm
I'm
not
wondering what
advocating
the
for
hell.
taking up arms, or anything like that. But I am saying that it's crazy that we live in this country that was formed out of all this violence, and yet if you throw a rock through a Starbucks window or if you throw horse manure at the cops, that's beyond the pale of violence. Like, give me a break.
Yeah.
Like
And,
anything except getting a permit and standing in your designated First Amendment zone and holding up your little sign and then going home at the end of the day. Like anything other than that is considered just a horrible violence.
mm-hmm.
And I have to disagree with the way that the word violence has been defined to exclude any action that might hope to affect change.
No. Uh, that asks, what is self-defense when there's a class war and we're being attacked? I mean, people are going to die from this bill if it passes.
Yes, people are going to go hungry,
Yes,
and that's not considered violence.
it's going to be people are going to die from going hungry. They're going to die because of the Medicaid aspects, and they're also going to die from the ICE Gestapo crap.
So we're gonna do one more little article before we move on to the fun stuff. There's a new tactic in Russia where they're hiring Ukrainian teens and as young as 11 and 13-year-old girls to act as suicide bombers. They're not and they're unknowledgeable about this. Like they're saying, hey, go get this bag and then like just carry it to this place. And then they have, cell attachments to the devices where they set them off. And they're like saying, oh, it's just spray, it's just paint. And we're just like anti-war. And that's why so, and all these folks are working class and poor, they're offering, I don't know what the average wage a month is in the Ukraine, but it damn sure ain't $1,000. You know what I mean? So this is a new tactic that the Russians are doing out there. And they've, that says the SBU has detained more than 700 people since the beginning of 2024 for sabotage, arson, and terrorism. Many are unemployed or need money to feed addictions, but about a quarter of them are teenagers, the youngest to date being an 11-year-old girl from Odessa. Oh, pretty brutal. And, I just wanted to raise awareness on this. I think it's a horrible situation out there, and the Ukrainian people are suffering, the Russian people are suffering, and it needs to come to an end. Which, I'll have it done in 24 hours. Did not happen, and yeah. So yeah, just wanted to bring that up. And now with that, we're going to move on to a few fun things. What a segue. Children being used as bombers by Russian agents. Sci-fi movies that aren't sci-fi anymore. Got a few in here. 2001: A Space Odyssey. This is
I haven't actually seen this one.
You've never seen it?
I have not.
It's good. It's good. It's a bit of a trip, and there's like, I'm not going to ruin it for you, but I think you would enjoy it. Jay, have you ever watched this movie?
Oh yeah.
Okay. But yeah, in it, the main thing is HAL 9000 and how modern AI chatbots can indeed speak to us and seemingly understand what we say. There's a new thing going on out there with AI chatbots where they're inducing psychosis in people, and people are then getting imprisoned in institutions and in jails. So, hey, what we got a new uh, X pipeline to prison going on. So now it's AI to pipeline to prison. So shout out horrors beyond my imagination. We got her right here. Y'all seen this one?
No, I missed it.
No.
I can't believe this came out 12 years ago now, from 2013. Spike Jones, about a guy who falls in love with his phone's assistant. Felt like sci-fi when it came out, but now it's happening. And I just mentioned the AI pipeline that's going on and whatnot. Gattaca, where anybody seen this one?
No.
I think I did, but it was a long time ago.
This one's yeah, also a good one in my opinion. But the main idea was that because he had to clean up his DNA because he was impersonating somebody. But in '97, the idea that anyone could get their DNA analyzed was ludicrous. Now you can just spit in a tube and send it off, and then they sell that and track you forever and sell off your genetic data forever. And yeah, here, Minority Report, Philip K. Dick classic.
Seen it? Yep.
A couple things in this was the Xbox Connect, but also pre-crime, which Palantir is working on. But the law enforcement is leaning heavily into predictive algorithms, facial recognition, gait analysis, and all sorts of software and hardware tricks. It might become one day become so accurate that can know you'll likely commit a crime based on your social media activity, personal information, and body language. Yeah.
Yep.
So we're in the pre-crime. Yeah, pre-crime. Yeah. Yeah. How do we get him to sainthood? We must simply pray to Saint Luigi. I think you are. I think I'm gonna put some extra prayers in tonight for just that. Back to the Future 2. No hoverboards. But
there was self-lacing shoelaces, which were cool.
Yeah. But no hoverboards or flying cars, but flat screen displays, wearable tech, hands-free video games, video calling, biometric door locks are normal now. Things that came from that. The Truman Show. We're in the panopticon, folks. In fact, people have started to In fact, people have started to live. Thank you. Live performative lives. Live. Thank you for being able to read the English language, unlike myself, on social media. And don't see,
including us right now. What are we doing?
Ain't that the truth? We are absolutely insane. That's what goes with the unprofessionalism. Hand in hand. Blade Runner. Climate collapse, mega corporations being a law unto themselves, the rise of human-like robots and AI, and genetic engineering of artificial life. Check. Aesthetics of reality might not look like Blade Runner, but many of the key elements of our near future were already in our past. And then number 1, Demolition Man. Me, myself, I've been wiping my ass with a seashell for several years now, but that hasn't caught on. But yeah, self-driving cars, virtual meetings, personalized ads, restaurant monopolies, and even pandemic-era isolation echo the movie's more absurd ideas. And yes, contactless everything is basically the three seashell joke come true. So yeah, that's some going on with movies. All those movies I suggest you watch if you haven't. All right. Oh, and moving on. So this was new to me. First off, any Disco Elysium fans out there?
I tried to play it a little bit, and I don't know. I got about halfway through it and quit.
Yeah, I haven't picked it back up. I got halfway through, or maybe more like a quarter way through. Uh, but it's a lovely little game.
Oh, yeah, it's great. I'm just not a big video gamer.
Yeah, you can be a fact or like a communist, which through like at being a cop, it's really well like I grew up with like choose your own adventure books and text based adventures and stuff like that. So like the dialogue in it, where you're like having interactions with the character, the dialogue is just top notch. And funny as hell and dark as hell
It was funny.
but this one company, the people who brought you the $165 Disco Elysium trash bag, now bring you an $800 the Alters tracksuit. Yeah, I was not aware of this, but nothing says communism like this $165 poverty chic plastic bag based on Disco Elysium, aka the level of greed that they talk about in the Bible. But there's this company, Zaum, ZA/UM. That's very artsy, but they got gear out there for folks, and that's a cute little sheep. But they got a whole Disco Elysium line, and I'm not gonna lie, I want some of this shit. Like I like the pilot jacket, and they hit up Kim's crew jacket, but this right here, this is what they're selling for $165.
Wow.
It's a piece of crap.
ISCC certified. But yeah, $165 for this fucking trash bag that you find on the ground in the game. There it is in all its glory. Comes with a little fancy. This is the upgrade right here, but it is wild. All the different colors, but yeah. Oh man, but all in all, just some stylish stuff, and if I had the money, maybe it's this one I get, the Revolutionaries shirt. But yeah, man, some of the art going on. But yeah, I just found that perfectly dystopian and felt the need to share. But yeah, so and have y'all been watching any shows this week? Any books you've been reading? What's going on?
Let's see. I highly recommend Andor if you haven't seen it.
Okay.
I watched Sisu, which was a Finnish film about killing Nazis.
Oh, okay.
The movie was too gory for me. I bounced off of it.
No joke.
It's got a lot of violence.
Oh, it's a lot.
It's a lot of really over the top violence. It was a little bit too much for me because I'm a little bit squeamish about this sort of thing. Somewhat ironically.
Oh, well, what comes up for it is we got Sisu the film on Wikipedia, but we got Sisu the original real estate operating system as well, that you can find at sisu.co. But this sounds. I wonder if it's streaming anywhere because oh yeah, here we go.
It's rated R. It's violent.
Oh look, we got video.
It's very
Oh
violent.
yeah,
We're
I'm
making a sequel
down.
to
Oh man,
it.
that's what's up. And it's all pretty too and artsy. Yeah,
Bad things happen to Nazis.
Oh yeah.
this sounds like we need to do a movie night on this one.
It's
yeah.
the trailer. I think was like gloriously killing Nazis.
Glorious carnage. Yeah. So yeah, I watched The Menu this past week. Have y'all seen that one?
I've
Nope.
seen clips from that one. Is that the chef that kills people?
That basically the premise. Not to spoil it for anybody, but you know, it's not really kills people. It's definitely like on brand for me with Eat the Rich. You know, and it's darkly funny, and like it made me laugh in several spots. Several spots. So I do recommend The Menu if you're out there and you want something to watch. Highly recommend. I I wanted to watch it again today, as a matter of fact. But yeah, and I'm still reading The Rise and Fall of the Galactic Empire. I'm almost halfway through it. It's way overdue at the library, but man, it is a really good read, a really fun read, and yeah. And are you still? What were you reading last time, Jay?
So I have finished with In Defense of Looting, a riotous history of uncivil action. So it's full of all kinds of interesting anecdotes about history and historical struggles, which I found very interesting. And obviously, I'm all for looting, so I found that part of it persuasive.
Well, what's the next read for you?
Well, I haven't decided yet. I've got a stack of unread books, but I've been busy at work, so I haven't been able to read as much. But I'm thinking about. Well, I'm reluctant to say it. I'm thinking about picking up Ward Churchill's Pacifism as Pathology. There's an obvious trend in my reading of late, but it's on my list. Somebody recommended it to me, so I'm thinking about taking it on next. And
What's the title of that again? But Pacifism is
Pathology.
Okay.
And there's a book about I forget what it's titled, but it's a series of essays that are critical of effective altruism, which is like this tech bro philosophy about doing good in the world.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, they do good on the make all the money part, and then they just kind of like don't follow through on the rest.
Right.
You know. But yeah, it's them tech bros, man. They circle jerk like a motherfucker out there. Yeah. What about you, Morgan? You got any books you're reading?
I got one on the list that is based off a movie coming out soon. Largely been starting to pack up the books and such.
What's on the list?
Project Hail Mary is on the list, and also some of the Stormlight Archive books.
Is that Brandon Sanderson?
Yeah, it's Brandon Sanderson.
I haven't read any of his books yet. I have watched his YouTube videos on writing, but and that's actually, I have some goals to start trying to do like a song a week or a short story a week in between these podcasts and whatnot. But I am not a writer. I'm barely a singer. Uh, and can barely play guitar, but yeah, I want to try to continue uh, I wrote a song a couple months ago and got it recorded, and it was the first song I did in like 20 years. And I actually got a big compliment from a professional musician, so it's now like pump me up some. It's like I'm gassed up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been wanting to do some writing some short stories on, you know, how you know how to go about things in Minecraft. So yeah,
Yeah. My plan at the moment is try to get 2 boxes packed up each day.
hashtag goals. So yeah. Well, is there anything else out there in this big, beautiful world that we're living in that y'all like to mention before we sign off?
If you have an iPhone, take a look at the app called Ice Block.
Yes, you should.
So look into it and see if it's something you can support and get onto your phone. It protects your data, but it lets you report when you see ICE agents, and protesters and other people are using it to mobilize against ICE kidnappings. It's gotten some media coverage recently, so you can read up on reports in CNN and NBC and other places.
And the Supreme Court has actually already decided this about it for like Waze apps and whatnot, an Israeli company, about being able to put cops on these maps and stuff, and they, actually voted in favor or made a decision in favor of the average citizen that it was constitutionally legal. But they're bitching about it anyway.
I did see that there's for video game audience, there's an effort over in the EU called Stop Killing Games, which is getting more traction, so that when a game is no longer supported, it's not completely broken and unusable.
That's nice. Yeah, I've had to like hammer together installs of, some old ass games for one of the kids. And yeah, it's pretty shitty that they'll, break these things. And, that's another thing, these chat AI shit. Some of these companies have like had people fall in love with them and then they go defunct, fall in love with their chat bots, and then the chat bot, quote unquote dies. But yeah, like, hey, don't break the game. Just like leave it in a state where it'll still be able to, folks will still be able to play it,
Yep.
So, well, I think that's all for this evening. Thank everybody for hanging out with us. Thank y'all so much for being here. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Fight the algorithm with us. And we appreciate y'all. And we hope to see some of y'all soon. And anybody who wants to come on the show, you let us know. We're ready and willing and able to get some more commentary and activists and organizers up in this bitch. So yeah. So with that, y'all, as we say around here, and do we need a second sign off since this is a different show? You know, I feel like we should, but I don't have that squared away yet. I think we're just going to come to something, else, and then we'll figure it out from there. But as we like to say around here, all the power to all the people. We the people break our chains together. Solidarity forever, y'all.
Solidarity forever.
Solidarity forever, bros.